Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Boom, boom,
they're going to be in
boom,
St. Louis
boom.
in July.
Yep.
Feeling all right. Yeah.
It's about that time to see somebody new.
Oh, it's so good.
What's up, buddy?
What up? What up, fam?
Oh, is that me loud? Hold on. I got to turn you off. Hold on. I got to turn you off. Yep.
And
All
it's
right.
got the when I'm dry.
Yeah. Okay. What's up, man? All right. I think we're all set. You set? I'm set.
I'm good, I think.
How you feeling, bro? We missed last week. I feel bad. Like that episode that we just posted on Monday wasn't from a long time ago, but we were both angry.
Yeah, we got a little spite in us. It's all right. It happens every now and then. Sometimes you got to let loose. Got to talk about
But
your feelings.
It was nice to go back. Like I said, that was from like the 20th of October. It was like talking about fall is coming. Like God telling you to come for Halloween.
Yeah.
Now you're coming next week. About to hit our 100th episode with like less than 1% of podcasts actually do that.
And you're about to hit 100K subscribers.
I'm about to hit 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, dude. I literally, so for you guys, the listeners that don't know or didn't catch 2 episodes ago, we're doing a little shindig for Brad, a.k.a. also / Average Money Meetup, I guess.
Yeah.
At Dubco in New York. And literally probably I checked Brad's channel more than I check mine on a daily basis.
I did that for you too, though. I did that for you. I call you up and be
excited.
like, I'd be like, Jay, you watch it? I'd be like, nah, man, it's doing good. I'm not really worried about subscriber count. Hits 100K and you're on like TikTok. Your wife got you freaking balloons and shit. Like you've been talking about it for months. And then to me, every time I call you, like, well, I check it. You know, I check it.
That's the truth, though, man.
But I was watching yours like a hawk, and now you're watching mine like a hawk.
Every morning I check it throughout the day. I'm like, oh, and I'll text you. I'm like, oh, Brad, you're at 98.4. You're at 98.5.
I was saying, Tara, why the hell does this kid keep getting subs? I just don't get it. He's gonna hit 100,000 like this week.
Now I'm in your shoes. Now you're getting subscribers and my channel is declining.
I think I looked on what was that old website where you could go Social Blade or whatever, and it says that I'm gonna catch you in January of 2028.
I would think it's way before that. the rate I'm going.
That's what's got you at.
Oh,
but so we missed a week, and then you weren't feeling well, and then I think we got on the phone one night last week. We're like, damn it, there's so much to catch up on financially, but here we are.
Yep, here we are. Yeah, there is, man. I mean, and not even just on like investments and stuff. Like I got a lot of personal shit going on right now. That kind of sucks. You know, like for instance, all the money I'm making right now, I don't get to spend $1 of it because technically it's not mine.
Taxes.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. It's just the worst feeling that like I see this money market account, you know, it's going up in value, and I'm like, oh, cool, you know, I got some money in here, and you know, because usually like I stay pretty cash poor lately, like especially towards like the end of the year. Like I didn't have like so much cash on me. I was putting a lot in the markets, you know, I bought the second rental property, so I didn't have a lot of cash. Now I'm trying to build that cash position back up because of the taxes. Our AC kind of went out towards the end of the season last year, so I know that's going to have to be replaced. We're going to go ahead and do our furnace because that thing's 20 plus years old, so that's, you know, $6 to $8 right there. We're waiting to max out our Roths, my SEP, which is another $12K. So we got a lot of big stuff coming up over the next 3 to 4 months, which sucks because, dude, I'm really wanting to ramp up that M1 finance portfolio.
Well, a couple weeks back when you said you wanted to get to $100,000 this year, and I asked you how much was in there, and you were like $5,000. I was like, woo! No, but
5,800 now, boy.
there's two things I want to say.
Okay.
When we talk about the stress of taxes, it's not that you don't have the money. It's just that you always know you're gonna have to pay taxes, but when the tax man finally gives you the number, you're like, damn! Like I invest a lot of the money that I'm going to be putting towards taxes. So, like you're mentioning, like, the brokerage account's going to take a hit because I was really only using my brokerage account as a sinking fund for my taxes. And it's just like, it sucks Because then you're like doing what you're doing. You're saying, I can use this income and try and save to pay the tax bill, or I'm going to have to do what I originally want. I just want people to know that like you're not, your back isn't against the wall.
Right.
You have the money. It just sucks you have to spend it.
Yeah, it does. And like for instance, I could do what you're doing. I could go pull it out of my brokerage and pay the bill and be done with it. But I really don't want to sell off my stocks.
Right.
And I also am down in a few positions, which is another reason why I've said on this podcast before why I don't like keeping my emergency fund invested in the market.
Especially in the last week or so.
Yeah,
There's
definitely.
been a little, I mean, not a crazy, I wouldn't even call it a pullback, but like definitely a little bit of resistance in the market this past week.
Well, and also though, man, if you're in some of the growth more, crazy growth plays back in early 2021, those suckers are getting hammered right now. And if you had some money that you were really wanting invested in those companies, like you're hurting right now. So
Yeah.
that's why I like to tell myself every single dollar I put in my taxable brokerage, I'm not touching. Hopefully I will not need for the next, 5+ years, unless, some big real estate deal comes up, then I'll freaking empty that thing.
Yeah. No, it's there's also, like you mentioned too, the cash for other things. Like I'm a little bit cash heavy even for me, but the same thing, like I have my money to pay taxes most in cash now because I've been liquidating it over time as we approach tax season. But then too, like I don't know what my taxes are going to be, so I probably have a little bit of buffer. And now we get this little resistance in the market. I'm like, oh my god, I want to pull out. I want to, but I don't know if I should. It's
I've heard that
the
before.
the end of the year, or the beginning of the year. It's tough with the money.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also good because you can get to do other things like clean slate and things like that, or
Right.
look ahead to goals that you might have this year as far as like getting out of debt or cleaning something up or graduating and starting a new job. Like there is that whole cliche, it's the new year. But like, I mean, we're in the 12th right now. I think we're just about that time when everybody forgets about all their New Year's resolutions. I think there's people driving in the car right now on Monday. We'll probably be like the 14th or something. This comes out, and then they'll be sitting there going, "Ugh, yeah, I'm not going to the gym anymore. Sober January, my ass." Like
Oh, and they're on the way home. Oh, that Taco Bell sounds really good.
those vegans are so dumb anyway. These are all things that we've heard.
Yep. I'm guilty of it.
But yeah, no. So I'm looking forward. Like my Roth is clear. Why are you waiting? Why are you waiting for your Roth? I'm just curious because you're still trying to figure out the back door and all that other jazz.
Yeah, so I still haven't even maxed out our Roths, Lindsay and I's, for 2021 yet.
Oh, okay.
Just because I knew this was going to be one of those weird years. I knew we were going to be over the income limit. And then with my SEP, I still need to sit down with my CPA and really discuss the best option moving forward because I set up a meeting with him whenever I get all my tax stuff. I go in there, I turn in, everything I have from multiple businesses and all that, and kind of sit down and talk strategy. And one of the big things is going to be my Roth, how I'm going to take that. Right now, I expect me just to fund my traditional IRA and not even do a backdoor because I think with my SEP and how everything plays out, and again, listeners, like this is me like fresh territory, so take this with a grain of salt. I may be completely wrong.
We're learning together.
That's right. Well, it'll be something to talk about once I talk with the CPA. But so I think I may be better off just putting the money into the traditional IRA. But it just all depends on how I'm gonna get taxed because my CPA was telling me like there's only a certain limit you can put into these IRAs and SEP IRAs and all that before the IRS is like, okay, yeah, you got to get taxed on some of that.
Yeah.
So that's what I got to figure more out about. And then
All right.
2022, just by judging how things are going right now, I may not even hit the income limits for this year. Again,
Okay.
I know it's the first month.
But just remember, like if you put it in and go over later, you can withdraw that money penalty free, Jay.
I know that.
Okay.
But then you also got to figure out the earnings you made on that money, and it's just a pain in the ass.
The brokerage does that for you.
Yeah, I know. I just would rather just honestly.
I know. I'm just making sure that you knew that was an
Got it.
option.
Yeah. I know. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. Because on top of that, I want to fund the SEP and get that out of the way, and so that's a little under 12 grand.
And the SEP is retirement for people that are self-employed.
Correct. Yep.
Right.
I'm investing that as the employer, not the employee. So, and you can only max out 25% of your income that you pay yourself. I pay myself a salary. I pay myself, the company, Buckner Media, pays me $45,000 a year. That's my salary. So that's what I can take 25% of that and fund that into my SEP.
Right.
So
no, it's great to use the SEP. Like, but I'm saying like somebody like me that I have 403Bs, 457s, and all that. The SEP just wasn't for me. Are you all index funds in your Roth?
Yes.
Yeah.
And traditional.
Oh, both of them.
Yep. And it's VTSAX on both.
I switched it up a little.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Like, what do you mean? Like VOO?
No, I had $36,000 in VTSAX, and this year I funded with VTI.
Same thing, ain't it?
So, to the untrained eye, yes, but
I mean prices and stuff are a little different. I get that.
Pros and cons, right? You can't do fractional shares into VTI. So essentially, what I had to do with the 6,000 is I bought as much VTI as I could, which was 25 shares. Then the other $100 or whatever was left, then I just put that into VTSAX.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, at this rate, I can get myself 25 shares of VTSAX a year. I mean, VTI a year.
So what was the reasoning for that? Why not just put it all in VTSAX?
Because I want. Oh, this sounds so dirty. I feel like I need soap to wash my mouth out after I say this.
You want to trade options with VTI?
Yes.
You son of a bitch. I knew it.
I want to sell covered calls
oh my God.
inside my Roth IRA in 4 years.
Yeah.
And you can't trade options with mutual funds.
That's true.
So, like you said, aren't they the same thing? Yes.
Yeah.
So, if I decide in 2-3 years that I'm over options because I won't have 100 shares yet, because you have to have 100 shares, and I can only fund 6,000 a year. So, unless I would like sold VTSX, but I'm not going to do that. So I have 3 to 4 years to figure it out, and then if I decide not to, I have the exact same investment essentially.
Okay, I like that.
I just want to give myself more options, if that makes sense.
No pun intended. I mean,
I talked about it in a video, but it was. I don't think I like I'm gonna want to do that, but I'd hate to be then and be like, well, why didn't you just give yourself the option so I could choose now, you asshole? You know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm kind of. So my SEP is kind of a. So I have, I think, 25 or 50% in BTI, and then I have. I have Google in there. That may be the next largest position in my SEP. And then I have Stag as like my monthly dividend payer.
Right.
And then I did just add. I have Johnson & Johnson there, which I'm going to sell that and just throw that into VTI. What else? Oh, I have SoFi in there. Here's my thought with SoFi. So right now I'm down a lot on my SoFi position in my SEP.
Who isn't? Who's up in their SoFi position?
So my SoFi position.
No one.
No, hang
Nobody.
on. No, my SoFi position in my Robinhood account, I'm break even on. But
how are you break even? It's been hitting all-time lows every week.
I just started buying it in Robinhood. So SEP, I bought it a few months ago. I bought it at like $20 and $19.
I'm not making fun. I'm also down. So I'm not making fun.
So I've been selling covered calls on SoFi in my SEP, telling myself if I get assigned, I'm okay with that, and I'll just throw that money in VTI, or I'll turn around and do a cash secure put on SoFi. I don't know yet, but so like I'm kind of doing that as well. But here's the thing, listeners. Overall, though, like if you would look at Brad and I's overall retirement accounts, like this is still a very small portion that I'm doing the wheel strategy on with. Like I wouldn't recommend doing a lot of this in a retirement account, but I do think it's okay if you do it with a little bit of some of that money, because you gotta think like there's a tax benefit going on with that. Yeah. All that income that we're generating from those, covered calls, cash secured puts, the more techie growth type stocks, doing whatever, as that goes up, all that capital gains isn't going to get taxed till later. To where like these options we're trading, doing the wheel strategy in our taxable brokerage account, I got to pay taxes on all that income for 2021 now, which again,
we just have to weigh the risk and reward of like paying taxes versus compromising our retirement accounts.
yeah, for sure. I mean, like, and I never really let taxes steer me away from investments. I know a lot of people I hear all the time, like, oh, I would never buy REITs in a taxable brokerage account. You're an idiot. Like, I don't really care, man. Like, if I got to pay the taxes, I'm going to pay the taxes, but if I'm making money, it means I got to pay a tax. So be it, it sucks come tax time, but that doesn't mean I want to steer away from buying one of actually a top performer of mine in my Fidelity account, Stag. That's a monthly dividend payer. It's a REIT, so I get taxed a little higher on those dividends. But it's one of my best performers in the portfolio. Or it's like my fourth at best, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
So like people get so worried about taxes, and then like people start worrying about real estate. People won't buy real estate because of the taxes they gotta pay on it. And I'm like, what? If you're paying more taxes, you're making more money. I will.
But there's there's a difference between being like tax efficient and accepting what you have to pay, and being reckless with your taxes, like not paying a CPA or something.
Oh yeah.
And having to pay taxes that you shouldn't have had to pay. That's dumb. But if you take advantage of every tax code you can, and you get through every return that you can, and then at the end of the day, it's like, here's what you owe. Sweet.
I agree with that.
There's like such a big difference between like, oh, taxes suck. Like taxes suck if you don't get them done right, and if you don't get them right, and you have to pay more. Yeah. Like if you have what's your general rule of thumb when you need a CPA?
I say if you just about to ask you that.
I think I've said it on this podcast before, and I still believe it. Whenever that episode was, I think if you have more than one source of income, you should have a CPA.
So I kind of agree, but I think there needs to be a little bit more discussion on like what that extra source of income is, because like if that extra source of income is an extra $2,000 a year, like you could probably file that with TurboTax. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's nothing crazy. But if you have,
but what if it's what made you $2,000 a year?
Some side hustle.
Okay, but what if you could claim What if you can claim $2,000 worth of losses and call yourself a sole prop for that money that you brought in? Now you just saved yourself $2,000 in taxes.
You're correct.
Well, $2,000 on whatever you'll be taxed on is what I really meant.
Yeah. I mean, again, how so you're saying if there's like a $2,000 loss.
If it's like 60 cents in dividends, okay.
Yeah, no, that's
All right, so could we meet in the middle and be like, if you generate more than $5,000 somewhere else, you should have one?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I only said that because now I'm thinking about your point, and that's a pretty good point. Like having extra write-offs or whatever with a side hustle. See, guys, this is the crazy thing that a lot of people don't realize is like the benefit of having a side hustle. So, like for instance, today. YouTube is my full-time business, but before it was a side hustle. So let's pretend JJ's still on side hustle YouTube mode, right? I'm still working my 9 to 5. So I'm earning an income through YouTube as a side hustle, right? Or whatever side hustle you have going on. So for lunch today, I text Lindsay. I was like, sushi, there's an all-you-can-eat sushi place up the road from us. And I was like, hey, you want some sushi? She's like, oh, yeah, sounds awesome. Mason's in school today, so we just had Millie. And she's like, yeah, let's go. So we ate, had a great lunch. It was a more expensive lunch because it's, all you can eat sushi or whatever. But who do you think paid for that?
Buckner Media.
You know what I mean? Because it was lunch during work time. And we actually did talk about some YouTube stuff while I was there. And Lindsay does the, budget and some of my payroll stuff. I just don't pay her. So yeah, I mean, like it's an easy write-off. And like that's the thing with side hustles that a lot of people don't realize is the power of minimizing taxes through just having a side hustle. If you're all like, for instance, like money you're already going to spend could go as a write-off for a side hustle. Now you got to be careful, but
yeah, it's not like You don't spend money just because you can.
Correct.
But like, I'll give a great example. I have camera gear and I do a lot of ocean stuff, and I wanted a GoPro and I just wanted one for myself, but I could also use that for my business. So now that GoPro camera becomes a tax write-off. I'm use it for my business and then sometimes lend it to myself personally. But like JJ's saying, there's things in your life, like this section of my basement, I rent out the square footage of this to the business. So that's a rent expense to the business. Things like internet when you're on YouTube, a portion of my internet goes to that. My cell phone, because I send emails and take calls, is now a tax write-off because I use it for my business. And these are all things that will use YouTube income and AdSense as that second form of income. If I make $10,000 from YouTube and I find $5,000 that I can buy that are applicable to the business, I get it done. Like, this is the difference between getting the MacBook Pro 16-inch, which I knew I was going to buy, and getting it slightly upgraded with a bigger memory and stuff like that. Well, I need that bigger memory for editing videos and things like that. So now the whole computer becomes a business expense. Where if I was just like really liked tech and wanted the new MacBook, I got to just pay for that. Mm-hmm. And so many people even have that side business and don't realize they can do that.
True.
And then we've had some very favorable laws come in. Like, meals and entertainment used to only be 50%. You could only write off 50% of the check. But now I go on a business meeting dinner every single month. Every single month. What?
I probably overdo it.
You like to eat.
I do like to eat.
No, but think about this too. Like, I did some interviews with people, and I was like, "What do you want to go to a Met game? Take them to a Met game."
Yeah, business write-off.
I get to go to a Met game, which I wanted to go to. Yep. I brought them to a Met game, and I bought them dinner and a beer while we were there. Mm-hmm. Something that I would do on my own personal life, but now I'm like, if you have a side business, this is why you need a CPA. I think that's when do you need a CPA? I didn't learn all this, but my CPA is like, do you go out to dinner a lot? I'm like, yeah, once a month. Do you talk about the YouTube channel? Yeah, she yells at me the whole time because she hates my quote stupid hobby and my quote stupid YouTube. It's like, oh, that sounds like a business meeting to me. Great, we'll write that off. and I was like, wait, I can go to dinner with my wife once a month and get yelled at about my stupid side hustle, and that side hustle is going to pay for it and it's going to lower my taxes? He's like, yep. I was like, I love you. I'm never leaving.
Yep, exactly. Well, let's talk about that for a second, though, dude. Let's talk about like the power of increasing your income, because you and I have both increased our income substantially over the past 3 years. And I will say, I think both of you and I were on the side of the fence that was like, cut expenses, get your spending habits down as low as you can. And that's the quickest way, to pay off debt, to live a better life, to do all this, which I still kind of agree with. I'm still kind of there. But now that I've kind of like opened my eyes and seen this other side of like what increasing your income can really do for you, I'm definitely like, okay, maybe I'm not so much like pay off the debt first and then, increase the income. Maybe I'm like, let's do them together. And I've always said this in the podcast, increase income, but also be investing in that 401k or your Roth or whatever. But what are your kind of thoughts on the power of side hustles and just generating more income either through raises on your 9 to 5, and what that can do for not only just you and the family on an everyday basis, but what can that do for you to get closer to financial freedom, which I feel like a lot of our listeners is kind of like the end goal.
I mean, that's the answer to the question I get all the time. Why the hell would you live in New York with all that taxes? Because my income is so high, and because you can only cut your bill. I can only cut housing costs and costs of living. I can only cut that so much in another state. The way down on spending has a finite number, like a cash secure put. It can only go to 0. And I just, I thought for so long that the goal to financial freedom was by trying to cut that down to zero. By listening to people on the internet that were like, I eat for 1.2 cents per meal. And I'm like, I gotta beat that motherfucker. But I'm like, what is
Oh,
he even eating?
and your favorite no spin days.
Yeah, like, ugh. Because, and in the no spend days example that I give, if you make $5 a day and you don't spend any of it, you made $5. But if you make $1,000 and you spend 500 of it, you made $500. So who's doing better financially? The person that no spended $5 or the guy that spent 500 bucks but reasonably? Martin Housel says in The Psychology of Money, it's all about behavior. It's not about how smart you are.
That's so true,
And
man.
I always just saw the side hustles and busting my ass and fighting my wife about it as the ticket up. Not I'm frugal, but I'll tell you like what, and I've said that I can struggle from lifestyle creep. I went from cheap to frugal. When I was doing Dave Ramsey and trying to get out of debt that way and trying no spend day, I was cheap. I wasn't frugal because I feel like what like the difference to me is when you're cheap, it affects other people. Like cheaping
That's
out
good.
on tipping and things like that.
That's good.
Or like your kids aren't eating well because you're trying to save and you're giving them cheap food, or your wife is not happy. Like that's cheap. Frugal is really mindless. I mean, really mindful spending. And that's what increased income really gave me the ability to do was go back to frugal. So like I don't buy things a lot, but when I do or when it's time, like 2 years ago, my wife would have had to complain to me for 3 years for me to switch the pool liner that I know is leaking. But now it's like, Brad, the pool liner's been leaking. It's 25 years old. You put it in with your dad 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's $214, sweetheart. Can we just get the pool liner? And I'm like, of course. Like, why are you asking me that? She goes, because that would have been the biggest argument 3 years ago because I was being cheap, not frugal. And I got myself a really nice pool liner let my daughter pick out the design. It was really cute. But all of those things are possible because of income. And also too, your like risk tolerance or your ability to sustain financial risk is greater. Like, let me give you an example. If I make 5 times the income and we have an equally sized financial bill, it's so much easier for me. Like $3,000 debt to somebody, and my income is like I'm like I could just take 3 grand.
Yeah.
But to some people, that's a hard amount to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
So I always just thought like raise the income. It allows you not to have to worry about like little things, because you work so hard on the big picture and then little things don't affect it as much.
I
And
like
I
that.
mean, we live in completely different. So we can ask this question because you live on the opposite spectrum as me,
Mm-hmm.
right? We talk about this all the time. Like, you don't have a mortgage. Your bills are so low. Your bills are so low. My bills are like almost 10x yours. Maybe like not 10x, maybe like 8 times bigger.
I mean, depends what we're talking here. Like, we talking beans and rice bills, or we talking like
No, like
lifestyle
right now.
bills?
Like right now.
I mean, I could get away with like 3 grand a month,
Right.
but that's living the lifestyle I'm living right now.
I'm close to 11 or 12. So 4 times as
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Right. And in a situation, if we were making the same income, your life is so much better financially. Financially.
Yeah.
Right. Because every single dollar you make.
Well, it depends though, dude. I mean, look where you live and look where I live, though. You know, you live by the beach. You live by New York City. You got tons of restaurants. different cultures, different foods, cool bars, cool beers, big roads.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it?
We fucking drive side by sides around, go fishing. You know, like
Not, but I love that.
yeah, no, I do too. I know. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, would you rather have a higher income at a higher cost of living area, or a lo-
Ooh,
saying that
man.
you could live comfortably in both spots? You don't feel financially stressed. Like the ratios go up together. Would you rather live in a high cost of living area with a high salary, or would you rather live in a low cost of living with an equally comfortable low salary?
I would rather live. So this is, dude, this is hitting at home right now. Lindsay and I have really been talking about what our future looks like. You know, like we got this paid off mortgage here. We got family here. You know, they help watch the kids when Lindsay and I want to go out for a night. It's nice. We got a nice little setup here. Don't get me wrong. But we also talk about the things we're missing out on. Like when I come up to New York, I'm like, my gosh, I could not imagine, you know, having all of this around me. I could not imagine having a Friday night and being like, hey, let's just go over here. Let's just do this. And it's like, you know, 15 minutes or less drive. To where anything near me, unless you're going to the local bar, is a 20+ minute drive. So to answer your question, man, oh, dude, I would probably say if it wasn't for like family and stuff where they're located, I would much rather live in a high cost of living area that the income made up for it. Definitely. Because now again, this is me looking at like grass is greener on the other side. But I think honestly the only thing that is keeping us where we're at here is family. Like if we had no family around us, we would not be here.
I say the same thing, but you say the grass is always greener. Like, with all due respect, I love coming there, but I couldn't live there
Yeah.
for an equally low salary.
Well, right. That's what I mean though, is because we got
But
family here.
like,
If your family was here,
yeah. But also too, I will say that where you live is not equally as comforting. Like you make for your area a very, very nice income.
yeah.
I would say that in your town, you're one of the top 5 highest paid people in the town.
I don't know about that, but
Top 10,
we got some rich farmers.
top 20.
Okay, maybe. I don't know, dude. I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So imagine being the guy in your little town of 5 square miles or whatever, and you're the 20th highest paid person in that town.
Yeah.
You're doing good, because what that does, it allows you to travel and do the things you want to do and go to Hawaii for 6 weeks and go to Cancun with your wife. You kind of spend that cost of living going to other places that have a high cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I could see how it would be a really, really tough grind in a rat race if you were making like a comparable ratio from high cost of living down to low cost of living.
Yeah. I just feel like it's. Oh,
Then again,
man.
I've been a city slicker my whole life, so I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, dude. I feel like I'm a big believer in paying for experiences. You know, like, and I know I don't know how they'll take it, but like whenever I'm a grandparent, and even my kids, and my kids get it now. Like Lindsay and I choose to spend more money on experiences than we do, gifts.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to teach that to my grandparents and my parents, and Lindsay's trying to like kind of teach that to her parents, because like we get all this shit for our kids from them, from Christmas and birthdays and Halloween, and just because they're seeing them, hey, we got you this, and we're like, guys, we have a small house. We can't fit all this. And I'm also like, Lindsay and I are both pretty like not like super minimalistic, or however you want to say that, but we definitely are on the side of like only keeping things that really like we use.
You're simple.
Yeah, we are.
Like even your wife likes to like decorate and the place looks nice, but everything is sentimental.
Yeah.
Like every piece of wall decor has a meaning.
Yeah, it does.
It's very thought out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, shit, I don't remember where
No,
I
but
was
you're
going
saying
with
like,
this.
no, we're talking about how like the family and not living there and going through that rat race. And you said when you're a grandpa,
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So, and kind of what I'm getting at is what you said, traveling to different cities, and that's kind of how I make up that time, for the experiences and not living in a, let's say a cooler place. Is we do choose to travel and just go see them, and it's
yeah,
nice too because when we're out, dude, like when we were in Mexico, we were like, hey, we're kind of ready to get home. We're kind of ready to get back to slow paced living and, talking to the neighbor with crack a beer open when you're out in the driveway. You know what I mean? Like, so I do feel like if we did move to Colorado or like some mountain town or somewhere or a beach somewhere, Hawaii or whatever, I do feel like I could make it for probably a year. And then I guarantee you I'll be like, okay, I'm ready to get back home. I'm ready to
that's
be
what
close to
happened.
family.
That's what happened to me in Arizona, man.
Yeah.
You just Dorothy said it best. There's no place like home.
Yep.
And I mean, for me, I live in a bigger suburb town than you do, but I have deep, deep roots in my town. So
Yeah.
it's like my grandmother was a history teacher at the high school. All of my mother, my aunts, and uncles went to my high school. All of their friends that still live local went to the high school with them. My uncle died of cancer in 11th grade and like has parts of the school named after him. My mom was class president. I had 5 cousins go through there. I graduated there. Like all these things. I've worked in 25 different businesses all over town. Just these relationships. That's the real reason I can't. I like, dude, if my furnace blows, I could call 4 people. Hey, Brad. Hey,
Yeah.
it's Brad Finn, Mary O'Keefe's son. Yeah. Whenever you can get here, bud, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when I got my floors redone and the guy's like, I could do your floor 100 times for the amount of beers your mother bought me over the course of our friendship. This one's on me.
Yeah.
Like that shit literally happened.
That's crazy.
Like I know my mechanic. I know, with the brewery, I know what breakfast spot to go in and our beers on tap. Like these
Toast.
things that that's the real reason I can't live. Because we argue, well, not argue, but we have conflict in the fact that both my parents have passed away. So like I don't have that grandfather connection. I have my brothers who come over and love them, but my brothers are like, dude, wherever you go, we're following, man. Like lead the way, sir, and we'll go there because we're so similar. But Tara was raised very strongly with her grandparents in their lives a lot, and she doesn't want to take that away. And there's a part of me that's like, all right, cool. Like in 5 or 6 years, they're not going to love their grandparents that much. Let's go hang out at grandma and pops today, so that's just a couple years. But I think I use that as a scapegoat. I think if Tara was like, Brad, let's pull a trigger, let's go. I'd be like, oh, what do you mean? Like, shouldn't we think about this? She'd be like, nope, we're doing it. I'd be like, no, we can't. Because I mean, damn, I can't even call and make a doctor's appointment for myself. I can't go to a new pizzeria.
Oh my gosh.
I can't go to a new bar.
Let me ask you
I'll
this.
go into the bar and be like, have you ever heard of Destination Unknown Beer Company? Who the hell are they? Nobody important. Just it was a joke. Ha ha ha. I can't do.
Oh man. Well, let me ask you this thing, because this is something Lindsay and I talked about at lunch actually today. Is what are your thoughts on like buying a vacation home somewhere and Airbnb-ing it?
On paper it sounds great, but like I have 25 Bigger Pockets books back there, and every single book says do not buy a real estate investment that you think is going to be a vacation home.
Yeah. No, I
everyone I've read.
I agree with that.
Sounds great on paper, but like I don't know.
Here's my kind of 2 cents to that, I guess, is like if I would. So first, let me say this: Lindsay and I decided that we wouldn't want to do an Airbnb as a vacation home because we would feel like we have to go out
Had
there.
to go there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want that because like we're
Same reason I don't want to be buried. Like I don't want people to feel like they have to go to my gravesite.
Same. I don't want to be buried either. I didn't know that about you. That's funny.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what was our thought. Is like, yeah, I mean, the Airbnb would be cool and all, and it would be another source of income, hopefully. But we were also saying like we don't want to feel like we have to go to Colorado every year to use the Airbnb to get our money's worth.
Right.
And if it's an Airbnb and it's making money, then maybe you won't feel as entitled. But still, it's like I feel like that would be over my head as like, well, I bought this thing, we need to just go, and like, but dude, like we are really big on going to different places. Like we've been to Hawaii twice, so like we probably won't go back to Hawaii for at least I bet like 5+ years,
Right.
just because we want to go see other places in the world. Like right now, what we're talking about is our big thing, which it may not happen, but dude, like one of my dreams, and this has been on my bucket list for forever, is to RV trip around United States. And I know we've talked about this already. And like, man, like it'd just be so awesome to do like a 2 to 3 month trip. Start here, go up north to Canada, check out Banff, go down West Coast, hit back down towards Colorado, Montana, everything. Go to Colorado, or California. Just that's like one of my biggest dreams. Just drive that RV, plan our next spot on the map. All right, this is where we're going, and that's kind of like my financial freedom goal. Is like once I know we're officially I may take a step back from YouTube and do that for I don't know 3-4 months maybe. I don't know. But that's kind of like my goal inside. Is like that's something I need to check off before I die. Is that
Before you meet your maker, so to speak.
before I meet my maker?
No, shout out to Camping World. Shout out to Camping World. I want to
Yeah.
do this. I want to do the exact same thing. Marcus, call me. I'll promote your business for free. I love you, Marcus.
Oh my god.
No, I want to do that too. And man, I can't wait till the kids are older and we can start to show them things. Can't wait.
So yeah, I know. That's our other thing too. Is like with
I just wish timeshares weren't such a freaking scam.
I know. I can't do time.
Because the thought of being able to like rent in a bunch of, I guess that's what Airbnb is at this point.
Yeah.
I wish there was this website you could go on and just pick a city and stay there.
Look who's here.
Yo, hun.
The OG.
Looking for a condo here in Women to rent or Airbnb. Nice. What happened? Didn't you just buy a house? Wasn't he buying a house? He was. Hun?
Building one? Or no, that was Dade, wasn't it?
Nope. It was Hun.
Well, thanks for the super chat, Brian. Appreciate that big time, man. I think Airbnbs are huge. My only like 2 cents on Airbnbs, I think I've said this in other episodes, is like make sure you can rent that puppy out as a long-term rental in case the economy goes haywire, because that's the first real estate that goes during a recession or a crash or whatever is vacation homes. So like something like that sounds like would be perfect. If you could rent out if Brian could rent out that condo in Wilmington for a long-term tenant, someone come live in it for a year, then you're probably okay. But I see some of these people who are spending $500,000 plus on vacation rentals that are, the 6-bedroom, 7-bath properties. And I'm like, holy shit, if something happens to our economy, no one's vacationing in that home. No one. I mean, you may have your few people get booked every now and then, but they're not going to be cash flowing what they're doing now. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like that's a huge risk.
Yeah.
As long as you can change your Airbnb into a long-term rental, I think you're set. Because Airbnbs are killing it right now, dude. Some of these people I talk to, I'm like, holy shit, you were making that much money from an Airbnb? I just looked at a deal with my uncle. Well, they're not really my uncle. We call them my uncle and aunt. They're like my mom and dad's best friends. But
Uncle John.
yeah, one of those guys. So he's an Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike.
Everybody's got an Uncle Mike. But no, I was talking to them one night and we were running through the numbers, and I have this spreadsheet for Airbnbs, and I said, oh yeah, let's throw in your internet, taxes, management, everything. We were going through the whole line, and they were cash flowing like $700 on a $110,000 property.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, I was like, holy shit, am I doing something wrong here?
Dude, my biggest fear too is they're not really favorable in towns.
Yeah.
But like nobody had. If I didn't have kids, man, every one of these bedrooms. What's this genius shit I hear that people are signing long-term leases with the clause that they could do short-term rentals to friends and things like that. And instead of buying the property and Airbnb it, they're leasing it and Airbnb it.
I've heard of that, and I know in some leases that's illegal. You know,
Right,
like
you have to get that clause in your
right,
lease.
right, yeah.
But like I'll give you an example. My my brother-in-law, he's a sailor, so he goes out for 6 to 8 weeks at a time, then he's home for 6 to 8 weeks during a time. So he's like, "Hey, when I'm away at sea, I'm going to have like one of my buddies stay here and help me with the rent. Is that cool?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem." So it's in there that he can lease it short term to people while he's away at sea.
Hmm. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know if it'll make any money, but I mean, that seems genius.
yeah. I mean, there's just so much stuff right now, dude. That's like, I don't know, man. I just think about. So, for instance, I have there's somebody behind me that's building duplexes. They're an older couple from the area. They're pretty well known. They probably own, I would guess, maybe 20 properties, which is a lot here in our small town. And I walked down there. I've introduced myself to him before, but I've never had like a full-fledged conversation with him. It was just kind of like passing by or whatever. And I saw them out there. It's a husband and wife. They're both probably like 60 plus. So walked down there. I was like, hey, JJ. They're like, oh yeah, you're the one with the two little kids outside all the time. I was like, yeah, it's me. So we started talking. I was like, I was basically what I was trying to do is like introduce myself and like network is what I was doing.
Right.
And like that's another big thing that like listeners, if you guys are still with us and listening right now, props to you guys. But that's something to always do in life. Always introduce yourself and don't be afraid to talk about yourself and like what you're doing. Because you never know who you're going to meet and you never know who you may, work together with on the next deal. Because, like, okay, I walked down there with this in mind. Like, I knew I was going down there to network. They probably thought I was just, like, a nice neighbor coming down, like, whatever. But I knew what I had in mind. So I introduced myself. I was asking about the property, how the build went. They already have one of the units rented out. I asked them about, like, what they were charging rent. And then asked, after talking to them for a while and asking about all their stuff they got going on and trying to get to know them a little more personal level, I kind of started, introducing myself a little bit. I was like, oh, yeah, I got a couple properties. I'm really trying to focus more locally. And, so I'm just like trying to build that connection. So I got the lady's number and she's like, if you ever have any issues or whatever, she's like, and I told her, I was like, if you ever need anything fixed, in these, because they live a little bit farther south, I was like, I can come over and fix it, be kind of like your handyman on call or whatever. As long as it's nothing, it's going to take me 2 days to do. I ain't doing that shit. I ain't got time for that. But, so
You're a handyman now. Wow, things are tough on YouTube.
Oh God, Jesus. But no, man. Like I told her, I was like, they may start offloading properties. They're telling me this. Like they're getting to an age now where like they've seen the success. They're not really trying. I mean, they're building these 2 duplexes now, but they're trying to not really like acquire any more properties. So I was like, well, I heard the guy was like, yeah, we're not in that zone anymore. And I was like, well, I am, so I kind of told them, I was like, hey, if you guys know of anyone from being in the, kind of that network, of the local area for so long, if you hear of deals, if you know about this, if you know what's going on or what about this property. And then also there are communication, that I can reach out to if I'm ever developing something. If I want to develop my own duplex, I can reach out to them and say, hey, who'd you use for this? What contractors do you recommend for this? Dude, that's what I'm telling you, man. Don't be afraid to walk up to somebody that is way ahead than where you are in life. But that is what, getting those balls and the cojones to walk up to them and be like, hey, let me introduce myself. That's kind of what takes you to that next level. It really does. Like not being afraid. There's been so many like connections I've made through networking that have benefited me tremendously just because I took the time to go to that meeting or to go to that meetup or to talk to that one person. Like it's so easy to just be like, I ain't going to go to that. I'm going to stay on my couch and watch Netflix all night. But there really could be something that comes out of it. Now, it's not going to happen every time.
No.
It's not going to happen at every networking event. But the 20th person you do that to, it may be life-changing. You never know. So do it every single time you can.
John Scholler said it best. Everyone should know what you do.
Absolutely.
I think back to the early days of YouTube when I was like embarrassed I had a YouTube channel. And I'm like, man, I wonder how much faster my YouTube channel would have grown if I wouldn't have been so shy about it. And I would have just told as many people as I tell now about it if I would have told them about it then.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I agree.
I was like, I got this little small channel. It's called Baby Steps, Brad.
It's still your name in my phone, by the way.
Trying to get out of debt here. Baby Steps, Brad. Yeah, man. So what else? We got one more week to record and then you're coming.
Yeah. So next Wednesday. Yeah, I fly out Friday morning. Oh shit, bud.
Yo, SoFi. Can I tell you how deep I am?
Oh no.
Deep in SoFi right now.
Like, what do you mean deep?
10 contracts deep.
Oh shit. Like calls? You bought calls?
Yeah.
How far out?
March.
Well, I mean, dude, it's
68 days right now.
Yikes. Dude, it's just so up in the air with everything right now. So up in the air. That's why I'm buying shares. I ain't buying calls. It's just because it's so.
Yeah, I got eviscerated last week financially trading options. Eviscerated. For me, I mean, we're talking $1,200, but.
Well, speaking of that, I'm getting to the point where I'm almost about to take my loss on Wish.
Oh my gosh! I meant to bring Wish up before with like the trading the options in the Roth IRA. Like I think our Fidelity portfolio like humbled me a little. Like we went into that like we'll just throw some money in, write some calls, and we'll just start printing money, and we're down like $4,000 in that portfolio.
Yeah, no. Well, you gotta think though. Everything we bought in that portfolio is what's down right now.
Everything. Boozy, Tattoo Chef,
Baba,
Peloton, Baba, Wish, SoFi.
Everything. We don't have SoFi in there.
Oh, we don't?
No, but I almost did a cash good put on it today. Yeah, man. I mean, well, Wish. Okay, so for you guys listening, Wish was one of those Wall Street bets plays for me. I made some money on AMC. I made some money on BlackBerry, and I made some money on Nokia. I was like, oh, Wish. Here's like, it was like that last like little before the fallout, and like everything really kind of went under the rug, and no one else really talked about it, I guess, anymore. I started picking up on Wish, and I was seeing it. I was like, throw like $1,500, $2,000 here, whatever. Well, it's done horribly for me. And I'm at the point now where like I know their next earnings coming out is not going to be better than the previous earnings. The company keeps losing.
You should have sold it 2 weeks ago and took the capital gains loss.
Well, I know that, and I almost did, and I chickened out.
All right.
So now I'm at the point now I'm like, okay, well, do I just keep writing covered calls until I get assigned, like right at the money, or maybe like 50 cents higher, like at 350 or whatever, or do I just sit on it and bag hold and see what happens over the next couple of years? Like I don't know, man. I'm down.
I would say bag hold it and write calls, but write good calls. I mean, if you're gonna bag hold it for a long time, you might as well bag hold it for a long time, making strategic calls. That's what I did with Wells Fargo. It took me a year and a half to get back to even.
Maybe I do that then.
And then here's the shit of that: a year and a half of hating Wells Fargo, like my life depended on it. I finally get back to even. I freaking sell it all off. Good riddance. The thing fucking jumps another 15-20%.
Yeah, I'm sure that's always how it goes. But like,
I mean, hindsight's always 20/20. But unless you need that 15 hundo, or what is it now? It's 300. What is it now?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely low.
All right. So I mean, like, so that's the other thing,
Yeah. I'd be better off just holding it and instead of selling it for the little bit of money I have left in it. I mean, I guess my concern with it is like if it was Wells Fargo, it'd be a lot easier for me to sit on that and just write calls. So much easier.
There's not a lot of volume with Wish, huh?
Dude, Wish is just like I feel like I could go under, man. Like I feel like it's heading to a
Oh,
penny stock. I mean,
oh,
technically it
really?
already is, but like I could see this trading under $1 in like the end of the year.
What is it? Oh my gosh. Oh, thanks, Nate. Wow. Wow.
So yeah, I don't know, dude. Like,
That's how I feel about Vuzi and Tattoo Chef, though.
nah, dude. I would feel way more better when in a which I don't know anything about Vuzi, so I can't say anything about that. But like a company like Tattooed Chef, like I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. They got some, things they gotta work on. The first thing that scares me the most is the short interest in that damn stock. It's like 30+%. Which I'm like, where's our Wall Street bets gang? Like, can't we get Tattooed Chef popping again because of all the shorts?
They
There's
won't
literally,
defend they won't defend the vegans.
bro, there's literally 30 plus. They don't give a shit. If it's got a high short interest and it's gonna kick the hedge fund's ass, they're all. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, man, why can't Tattooed Chef get a GameStop run? You know what I mean?
That would be dope.
Oh, I mean, it's literally the second most shorted stock, I think, in the market right now, next to
Peloton.
Peloton's up there. I don't know what their short interest is, but I do know Tattooed Chef is like the second most shorted stock in the market right now.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know. So I'm like, let's just power this retail gang back up and get Tattooed Chef popping.
Let's make a video.
Yeah, I know, right?
Calling Wall Street bets. We need you.
Yeah, no doubt, dude.
Could somebody please look into Tattoo Chef?
Yeah, please.
I'll be
raise
standing
this.
by.
And,
I have calls that
wish.
expire in April and wish.
Oh man, but
I did adjust my swing trading philosophy like every single day this week.
oh
So
boy,
we'll see what next week brings.
Yeah.
Going a little more blue chip, a little bit more long term.
okay.
The swings, it's just so hard to set stop losses because the swings are just so much. But
I couldn't do it, dude. I'm trying to sell off my stocks. I'm selling off. So I have limit orders set in some of my stocks in Fidelity, my personal Fidelity portfolio.
I don't really own stocks. Well, dividend portfolio stocks, but
Well, yeah, I mean, once I sell these 3 or 4 off, the only stocks I really own now is dividend stocks.
look at you growing up right before my eyes. What are you going to be, 38?
Oh my god.
Look at you. We just crossed a milestone, a maturity milestone. Yes.
But no, but then I look at it though, dude. I'm like, well, shit, my dividend portfolio is performing the best next
And
to
ETFs.
VTI.
And VTI is the shit.
Yeah.
I
Well,
know.
That's what I'm trying to get rid of. I'm trying to consolidate, man. Like,
Yes.
as soon as I have my limit order set right at break even for. So I own a penny stock that I bought. Oh, it was so stupid.
Wait, I'm learning about all these deep, dark YOLO plays that you have.
Yeah, I have a penny stock that I bought back in early this year that just never has done anything. It's just been sitting at 60 cents for like 7 months, I feel like. I own it at like 80 cents, and I'm just waiting for it to creep back up to 80, and I have a limit order set right at my average cost to sell it. I don't have much, and I don't remember how much I have in there, but PayPal. So PayPal I have set to sell. I'm turning that back into VTI.
Yes.
SoFi
Oh
I'm
my
keeping.
God, this is so exciting.
What else? Palantir I'm keeping, but I'm running calls on it. If I get assigned, I'm putting it into VTI until I see another big dip in Palantir.
That's right now, bro.
No, I know that. I just don't have the cash to buy it. That's why I'm just writing calls right now.
Yeah, I have 10 contracts on Palantir
Do
too.
you really? Yeah, I just
Plus ones.
I have a leap on Palantir I want to get rid of.
Leaps, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'm just trying to consolidate, man. I'd like to have like maybe 4 or 5 stocks in Fidelity, and then have the rest be VTI, and then I really want M1 to grow. I got that, I got a 100K goal by the end of 2022, which I don't think I'm gonna hit, but
Bold statement, Cotton. Let's see how that works out for him.
I'm at 5,800 right now. We'll see where I'm at in December 31st of 2022.
I think I'm gonna guess. Are you really gonna push for it?
Yeah, once I get all these big ticket items paid for, yeah, I'm going to. That's where a majority of the money's going to go.
I think you can get to 70.
That's probably kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking like 75.
I think my goal is to get. I mean, I have a little bit more to start, but I that's kind of I want to add like 60 and get to 100.
Yeah,
It's a nice round number.
it's amazing. Well, and it's like 100K, man. It's so cool to say like you got 100K in one account. I mean, it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And that's like that, and that's what, and I don't think some people understand it either. I was like, that's liquid cash. I could sell that off tomorrow and have that in my account in 3 days.
And for some places in the country, that's 3 years' salary.
Yeah. Yep. So that's why I was so back to the RV thing. That's what I was telling Lindsay. I was like, babe, like, I said, if we could get our overall like taxable brokerage accounts between Fidelity, mostly in VTI and some Google and Stag and Pepsi and, my Apple and Microsoft plays. Those are the kind of the other stocks I have in there instead of with VTI. And then if I got M1 Finance blown up to 100, and then if I got, Robinhood that I just kind of trade options on, I'll probably never go over 10 grand in that account. Unless I, just the income gets a lot higher. But, that's kind of like, I told her, I was like, if we could get $300,000-$400,000 spread throughout these accounts over the next few years, I said, babe, think about how long that would last us. And hopefully we wouldn't need to pull the money from it. I could keep generating money elsewhere. But to know we have $400,000 in taxable brokerage accounts that I could pull out and have $400K in our account in a matter of 3 days, like that's pretty incredible to have that flexibility. And that kind of goes back to like, okay, well, how long if I didn't make any money on that 400K, how many months could I live for my 3 grand a month that I would need to survive on? And again, 3 grand is beans and rice for us right now. Maybe not beans and rice, that's eating out and stuff, but that's like our lifestyle without putting money in accounts for investing. So I just did 400,000.
That's my mortgage.
That's crazy. Divided by $3,000 a month. That's 133 months. So that'd be 11 years. We could live off that. That's 11, dude. We'd be, so let's say we hit that at 35. So I would be 47 years old until I'd be like, okay, I probably need to go get another job. 11 years. That's like, that's what I'm saying though. Like, that's the power.
I'm not even planning on living that long.
Oh my God.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time. But like, I don't know, dude. So that's what's going through our head right now is like getting that cash built up in the accounts.
Yeah.
And again, hopefully not ever having to use it. But if I needed to, I could. And,
right.
And then also real estate. I want to have cash flow coming in from that too. So that's a whole nother end of the spectrum. If I find another property in 2022, then I'm definitely not hitting 100K in M1. I know that.
If what?
If I find a real estate property in 2022.
Yeah, remember 3 years ago when you told me you wanted to do that?
I do remember that. We still haven't got one.
Somebody just asked, what's one goal you did not accomplish in 21 that you will in 22? I said, real estate property.
Yeah. I hope so.
Gotta get one.
Yep.
And a nice summer vacation. I want you guys to come out for like a week in the summer.
Lindsay did say we would like to bring the kids up.
Because you have to come so we don't have to rush and like slam a week into 2 days like we do every time you come.
Yeah.
Like
we probably come for like 4 days.
Just need a day where we could just lay by the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, and hang out.
All right, man.
Yeah, let's wrap this up, Brad.
Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No. As always, I appreciate every single one of you guys who stick around and choose to listen to us, even though I may question your judgment. We really do appreciate this community and kind of what it has grown into over the past year and a half. It's been an exciting ride. Again, if you guys do want to come out to the Average Money Meetup, come on out. Dubco in New York, Long Island, or whatever the hell you call that. And it'll be fun.
Yeah. Dubco. I don't remember the address.
Just look up Dubco, Long Island, New York. I feel like you can find it.
It's in Bayshore. It's like 1 South Chicago Avenue, I think. Bayshore 1 whatever.
And what's the date?
Saturday the 22nd. We'll do
January.
like 1 to 5, and then they're kicking us out at 5 because you shouldn't drink there for more than 4 hours.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then the strip is right there, so we'll hit town,
Cool.
get some dinner, kick it, and then everyone's gonna have to Uber their asses out of there.
Yeah. I'll be going night with my 6 cannolis.
Clap, clap, night, 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 night.
Oh,
Yes.
also real quick.
Yeah,
So bring this up in the intro.
yeah. What else did we talk about in the intro?
Well, hang on. Let me say this.
Okay.
So, one, if you guys want to find a way to support Average Money, if you enjoy listening to us, if you get value from listening to our episodes, all we ask in return, we don't ask for money, we don't ask for anything like that. What would really help Brad and I out is if you guys would leave us a review. And there's 2 ways you can do this now.
2.
You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Just go in, and if you want to type something up, that does help. You don't have to. You can just leave us a 5-star review or whatever you deem to be considerable.
Don't be the first 4.
Yeah. So that's one way, and then the second way is Spotify.
There's
lets
reviews
you
now
do
on Spotify?
reviews. Yep. I don't know if you can type, but I know you can do the stars.
Snap. And I think on Amazon you can too.
Oh, really? So there you go. There's 3 ways. So that
Spotify, that's golden.
yeah. So if you guys have gotten to this point, I mean, I'm serious. Like, I don't feel like we ask for a lot here, but if that is one thing, if you could just take 2 minutes to leave us a review, that really does help us. Like, so what that does is Apple Podcast, they see the more reviews.
We do have reviews now.
Yep, it's getting so
We
that
have
spreads it out
39.
to more listeners. So that does help us out
It's just a star rating.
on Spotify.
But we have 45 star ratings.
Oh, nice. Last time I checked, it was like 33.
There we go.
Cool,
Thank you. I didn't even know you could do that. I just did it. I just gave us a 5-star.
bro. Let's do a or do we want to do this in the intro or do this now? Wins from the Discord.
Yeah, do some. Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
do it
Do
now?
the wins.
now?
Yeah, do the wins. Yeah, do the wins. I'll put it in the. I'll put it in the
Yeah.
intro. But yeah, talk about it now.
So let's go up here. So guys, we have a Discord. You may have heard of ad on this already, but the community, the Average Money community, we have like a little chat room, and there's different things we can talk about. We talk about like with the episodes when they come out, everybody's in there talking about their thoughts on some controversial topic Brad and I are debating on or whatever. So everybody gives their 2 cents. We talk about debt payoff, investing, options trading, retirement, real estate. What are you drinking? We have different, clubs in there, like the 1 mile challenge that I quit after 20 days. And
15 days probably.
the stocks, we have a stocks change, just many different things that we kind of everyone discusses and talks and gives their own opinion or can ask questions. Brad and I are in there usually all throughout every weekday. So if you guys want to join that, there's a link down below in the description. But we added a channel, and I think it was Gilly. Yeah, it was. Shout out to Gilly. So he had, I'll read his win for this episode, and then we'll save some more for future episodes. But what we're going to start doing is trying to read these wins to celebrate and to join in with the community about what our community is doing, financially. So I'm going to read, let's see. I don't see Gilly's in here. What the heck, Gilly? Well, I'll read Brett's. I don't have this plan, so I'm kind of just going off my cuff here, but this is pretty long. I may have to summarize this.
Just read it.
Okay, I'll read it. So Brett, shout out to Brett K. Says, I forgot about this channel, so reposting this from the open chat. At the Christmas party last week, I mentioned a 2022 goal for me was $350 in options per month. I ended December with $394.38 in premium. Some plays are closed, expired already, and others have some time left, but it's a start anyway. All were cash secured puts on CCL, HYL, Hylion, Tattooed Chef, and SoFi. I have been doing options since last January. I sold a covered call, earned me some premium. I have slowly experimented and learned more from Brad and JJ through this year and ended this year by achieving a 2022 goal a month early. I can't express how thankful I am and found Brad and JJ and this community. I freaking love it. I won't be able to make the gathering at Dubco because I'm taking the family to Disney World with that premium money he got
Facts.
that week. But I'm definitely looking forward to 2022 investing and getting to know everyone here even more and sharing our wins and achievements together. Have fun and a safe New Year's, everyone. Cheers from Minnesota.
Right on,
So
bro.
that is this week's win from our good fellow community member of the Average Money Discord, Brett. And he
All right,
made it to
guys.
the Christmas party.
Yes, he did. All right, guys. Thanks so much, and we'll catch you next week. We're getting close to episode 100. I think this one's 96. So, well, we'll record 100 when you're here.
For sure.
All right, guys. Take it easy. All right, what do we talk about tonight for the intro? Roth IRAs, VTI.
So I think the big part about this and like what I was thinking for a title is side hustles. Like
Side hustles?
Yeah, do something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
And then just kind of everything else is just small talk.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Another episode of the Average Money Podcast. Excellent episode tonight. Pretty much focused on like some of the great benefits of having a side hustle, how that affects taxes, how money is really affected in the beginning of the year when you owe taxes. Right now, we're going through a little bit of a dip, and everyone's saving their money for their taxes and they don't know what to do with it. We got inside the Discord. We read some wins over there, some wins over in the Discord community. We just talked stocks. And like I said, I changed up my Roth IRA a little bit this year. JJ's getting ready to max out his, and it's a good episode, guys. Definitely a good episode. If this is your first time, though, my name is Brad Finn. I'm joined every single week, JJ Buckner. JJ, what's up, bud?
I'm ready to come to New York, my dude.
Thanks.
Little over a week, and I'll be in good old New York City.
Yes,
I can see the Statue of Liberty already.
It's very small, though.
Very small, of course.
It's very small, of course.
Or can you get this one? I don't remember how he says everything, but oh crap! It's New York City. You'll never get it. I know what? I know who would get this if I said it, and it would be my brother because we watched it growing up. Oh, dang it. There's something else that he says after, but I can't remember. James and the Giant Peach. Did you watch that?
No.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you would never have got it.
I'm 10 years older than you, bro.
That's true. But no, great episode. We talk a little bit about
We definitely didn't get on any tangents or anything.
No, not at all. But I do want to say this before we get into the episode, guys. You may have already heard the ad or whatever, but the Discord is really starting to take off. It's really starting to grow. I'm loving the conversations and feedback we're seeing over there from people asking questions about retirement to dividend stocks to trading options to paying off debt, sharing your wins, and who knows what the hell gets brought up sometimes over in the Discord. So if you guys want to come join the community, you guys can click a link down below in the description or the show notes, however you guys are listening right now, and get in there and join that and share your wins. And as you heard, we shared Brett's win on the podcast today, so you could end up in an episode. Also, I do want to say this. If you guys don't want to join the Discord, don't want to do any of that, I get that. I totally get it. But if there's one way that you guys could, if you guys find value or you enjoy these episodes that Brad and I put out, there's one way that you can help us, the Average Money Podcast, and that is by leaving us a review on Apple Podcast, also on Spotify and Amazon, Brad.
Yep, and Amazon.
So if you guys just take like 2 minutes, and if you enjoy the show, just leave go click the stars, and if you want to type something out, that does help a little bit more, but you don't have to. But we do really appreciate every single one of you who has left us a review and who does in the future. But Brad, with that, let's get into today's episode.
Yeah, man, I'll find a natural spot in the podcast where we actually start it to make sense. Might take me a little while, and we will start that right now. All right.
Boom.
What happened to the Discord stays in the Discord, Robin said.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let me save this up.
Love it. Man, I love Wednesdays.
Me too, man. I know. I'm going to go make another drink.
You gonna make that drink?
I do want to go. Let me do this. Hang on,
Okay,
chat. We're going to join in here in a couple minutes. I'll just get our shit together here.
My camera just died again. Stand by.
Oh, no. Yikes. Yikes.
Well, I can't use the endless battery with my videos, so I sometimes forget to switch it. Because like when I do, I get really bad feedback.
Oh, see, I just have old webcam that's USB'd in.
You don't get any like math like verbal drift with that.
I don't think so.
Because like I remember my webcam, it recorded in a variable speed.
No, see, when I had my camera up as my webcam, it did that. It like messed it up, or maybe I don't know. It was my audio that was not linking up or whatever. I don't know. So
Good episode.
yeah, that was fun, dude. Hey, we got a Patreon member, Bryce. I don't know if he's listening or not right now, but he just
Oh,
signed
he
up.
was in here today.
Shout out,
Thank
Bryce.
you very much, Bryce, if you're still here.
We'll be excited to talk to you in the community. All right, let me upload this in the drive.
Yeah, the Discord is at like a really cool spot where
Yeah, it is.
it's getting to enough people where the conversations are awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to the people that stuck around in the Discord when it was like quiet and not talking and you stuck with it. It's really starting to pick up, which is awesome.
Definitely starting to get better.
And as you recognize people, you'll grow relationships too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's people in my Discord that are like good friends and I don't even know about it.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay. Loading that. You good if I go make a drink?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get one too then.
All right, we'll just let the chat sit here for a second, and let's go make us a drink. And if you guys want to stick around, we'll answer a couple questions. If no one really wants to stick around, then we'll just get off here and we'll see you all next week. But
I'm getting a whiskey.
All right, we'll be right back.
My wife left a post-it on the liquor cabinet that said, "Brad, you don't want a whiskey." She's right. She knows me well. She knows me well. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? It's weird on my own it's on my own live streams. I feel like I can talk for hours, but then there's other people. When it's not this one, I feel weird. Let's see what I can get. Whoa. Oh, man. Are you going to get me drinking tonight, hon? If you guys need to look at puts, I'll lose it next week because some big investor although their shares could go down a bit. Are you holding puts or are you writing puts? Sounds like you're holding puts. Yeah, there was a post-it on the my fucking liquor thing. It said, "Brad, you don't want another beer." Oh my gosh. Oh, we don't buy puts on. That's what I took a hit on. But Aaron, maybe this is the time now to write the put on Lucid.
Hey, Brian gave us another super chat.
He did. Yeah, he did. So he said that we need to buy some puts on Lucid. What kind of position you holding, hon? Curious. If you don't mind me asking.
Played call options this week and banked. So he's saying we need to buy puts on Lucid. You know what? I may just. He's been right every other freaking time. You may as well listen to him.
He made us some money when we had to
AMC.
Yeah. Do you guys lease a car and write it off under your YouTube? My wife has her own business. She's an esthetician. We're trying to see what write-offs we can use. If she's driving to people's houses to do their makeup and stuff, then the car is definitely a write-off for the business. But it has to be insured under the business. That's the hard thing about a car, is you have to insure it as a commercial vehicle then. So you can ride it on the parkways here in New York, things like roads that can't have commercial vehicles. So there's give and take, but a car is like, it's tough. The other cool thing about buying a car for a business is if it's over 6,000 pounds, you can depreciate the entire cost of the car. So you wouldn't lease it. You'd buy a $60,000 car, and that would wipe off $60,000 of depreciated income for the year.
That's my game plan with real estate.
Yeah.
When I buy a truck, I want real estate to buy a truck.
Right.
But
that's why all those guys were buying the Teslas, because cars own over 6,000 pounds, but with the Tesla's battery, it came out to just over 6,000 pounds. So all the big YouTubers were like, fuck it, I'll buy one and write it off. That's how Graham Stephan did a video, like it cost him like 83 cents a day or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
After all of his write-offs and all that stuff.
Very crazy.
She has her own place she rents, and they come to get facial and skincare. So if she has a brick and mortar, then the car might not count. It might not be a business expense. That's a better question for the CPA.
Yep.
Because where those lines are, and especially the lines that the CPAs will go to, it's a fine line.
Yep. Like
I know some things that my CPA can like stretch out a little bit, and other things that he's like, no, dude, I'm not messing with that. You know, so.
Mine does the same thing. I'll tell him some stuff, and he's like, you may not want to do that. But I'm also like, I'd rather risk it.
Yeah, I know. You bordering on some tax fraud statements.
Yeah, right.
In today's podcast. You're like, man, if your side business is only like $2,000, don't claim that. I was like,
I didn't say don't claim it. I said don't use a CPA.
Oh, I thought you said you don't have to tell anybody about that.
I didn't say that at all.
JJ, will you let your Smith & Wesson cash put get a sign next week if it's in the money? Yep, I will too.
Yep, absolutely.
I definitely will.
Turn around, do a covered call on it.
Yep.
Because I think it is in the money right now. Where is SWBI at? It is. I have it at my strike 1750. It's closed at 1733 today.
He said, how do YouTubers write it off based on YouTube expenses? So
I don't write off a car.
A lot of the guys were real estate agents or doing some sort of real estate. So they did it for that. I have mine under my tutoring business. So I drive to tutor. So my truck is actually not under FinMedia. It's under my other subsidiary. But as a YouTuber, I'm trying to think like, if you worked because even if you worked in a co-work space, that's like still, it's a brick and mortar essentially. I don't know. But for me, tutoring based, I have to drive to people. Which is why I have those two businesses under two different separate entities. Hunt says I have 15 calls on the SPY for expiring Friday. guy's a freaking animal. You should screen record You should screen record. You should stream while you trade, hun. Because I want to
Absolutely.
watch it. I want to watch this damn shit.
So many people would watch that.
This guy that I watch, he trades futures. He went from like 10,000 to 50,000 in like a day.
Do it on average money. We'll work out a deal. Our first
Oh,
average.
stream.
Yeah, he can stream on average money, and then we'll work out a deal with monetization.
If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, to take everybody with you.
That's right. Not opposed to that.
I know. I look at my YouTube channel. I'm like, who can I hire? Like, I'm like, I don't know.
See, that's kind of what I could see Dividend Freedom turning into, like 3 years down the road, 2 years down the road. Like if it does grow, I have like again, and people may only watch Dividend Freedom for me, so it may not work. But my hopes would be to bring on like 2 or 3 other dividend investors, and then everyone plays a role, and everyone has their own portfolio.
Like
so
Think
like
Media.
Like what?
Think Media, you know that channel with Sean Cannell? He has like
the
8
like
different
YouTube guy or whatever.
Yeah, he's like 8 different tech specialists, and they each are a part of the Think Media YouTube channel, but they only talk about their specific specialties.
Yep. So that's kind of what I would think is like Dividend Freedom. Like each creator who comes on would get a piece of the pie for if they've stayed for so long.
Yeah.
You know, like they got to work into that equity position.
Yeah.
But once they get there, they can have that, or I just pay them a salary to be a creator on the channel, and you know, they talk about their portfolio and what they're doing and the stocks they're buying and the reasons why. And then you may have, you know, it'd be cool to have like a dividend investor that's more like solely focused on like, let's say he's like 50 and he's really focused on income. Then you got a guy like me who is more about like dividend growth and has a lower yield. Then you got guys who are like maybe in the middle, like more focused on yield, but also wants that growth as well. I think it'd be a cool, I don't know. It's just, that's so far down the road though.
I know, but like, I want that. Or like even podcasts. How many podcasts have you seen where like there is really like 10 guys in the room? Like there's 2 main guys or 1 main guy that's talking, but they're all like hanging out in the room together.
Oh, it's the
Like
best.
Theo Vaughn does that a lot. Like
Yeah.
he'll have his producer in there and they're all just shooting the shit. Like imagine getting like 5 or 6 people together and just shooting the shit.
Be awesome.
That would be so sick.
Yeah, it would be fun, dude.
What'd you do at work today? I don't know. Hung out with my friends, drank some beers, and just
and talked about
talked.
shit. Yeah, I mean, God, could you imagine? Alex asked, quick question, Brad and JJ, do you guys play any type of video games? I do. Recently started playing. I just got my son a PS5, aka got me a PS5. I have been playing Call of Duty Vanguard online, multiplayer. I usually just play Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Free For All. And then I play Warzone. I just started playing, and I suck at it. I'm still trying to learn it. That's really about it. I play Mortal Kombat too every now and then, if I'm not feeling. But usually it's always COD.
I'm a big Dr. Mario and Tetris fan. And old school Tiger Woods golf.
All right.
Oh, Daniel, we talked about it. Oh, yeah. Max those Roths up. Dr. Mario, I'm pretty nasty, though. You know that game?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tetris, but the pills drop down. Nasty.
It's like Candy Crush, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's like kind of modern day Candy Crush, I think.
I don't know.
But
yeah, no.
Aaron, I love me some Call of Duty, dude. If you play, let's hop on and play. Warzone's tough, but I'm getting better at
See, I feel like that
multiplayer.
shit like is like Madden to me. Like if I wanted to start playing now, I'd never be good.
No, bullshit, dude. I haven't played in 5 or 6 years. When I first got on, so like one thing that guys really like to look at is your kill death ratio. So it's like, what's your kills versus your deaths? So how many times are you killing people versus how many times are you dying in a game? And if you're above 1, so if you kill more people than you die, it's generally pretty good. Well, when I first started on PS5, my kill death ratio was like a 0.45. You know, so like I was dying, you know, way more than I was, you know, killing people. Well, now so from climbing out of that, I've worked up my kill death ratio. It's like a 1.3 or 4 right now. So I'm getting better. It's taking time. And like I don't get to play it all the time either. You know what I mean? Like they'll go 4 days where I don't play, and then I come on, I'm like all rusty. I'm like, oh shit, oh damn it. You know, it's not like I'm in college and I can sit there and play all day.
Yeah, that never got into it. Never got into
Oh,
it.
I love it so much, dude. It's so much fun. But yeah, now Warzone's a whole different story, man. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. It's so fun though, dude. It's like a huge map, and you just get free for all this fucking huge map. You can fly airplanes and shoot people. Like it's freaking unreal. It's like a real life like hide and seek slash.
I like watching YouTube
Paint.
videos, random YouTube videos more.
You know, I really don't watch too many YouTube videos anymore.
I'm addicted.
I really don't, man. I don't ever watch any YouTube videos now I think about it. I'll watch one every now. No, even when I click on one, I watch like the first 2 or 3 minutes, and I just don't watch it.
I don't watch money-related YouTube.
I'm talking about anything.
Oh, I watched a guy build like a shelter in the side of like a little clay thing next to a river for like 25 minutes, no narration.
Oh, no way, dude. Like
I get just lost in that stuff.
I think I'm more TikTok than YouTube is what I consume.
I don't have any more social medias anymore.
Yeah. Alex says Warzone is the metaverse. Seriously, though. It's unreal.
No, see, I don't want any piece of that.
Oh, dude, it's so fun.
Hunt, I'm definitely in for a group podcast, but only in person. If I can't control multiple microphones, and I can't mute people if they need to be muted, no. JJ just let me get a 4 splitter, so now we can plug a bunch of people in. So, because our main thing is every time we had guests, JJ and I were the only ones that could hear ourselves. Mm-hmm. So that's why my wife was yelling. But...
So when you hear people talk like this and they have no idea that they're talking like this, oh my god. You're like, holy shit! Can you back up from the mic, please?
Now they'll be able to hear themselves.
Like this. Like,
yes.
Oh, yeah, this is really cool. You know, I just love.
Or like your wife was one of these.
Yeah. I just gonna be over and talking.
And
yeah, this is gonna. And I heard one day that we were gonna go over here and talk, and we're gonna go over, and it's gonna.
I'm trying to edit it. I'm like,
living in Hawaii.
Fucking moving.
I
was getting tired of the fucking chair.
Oh yeah. Oh,
she'd still be like this. What are you drinking? You didn't tell me tonight.
Gin and tonic.
Oh my god, you're a savage.
That's all I drink, dude.
So I gotta get some gin for when you come?
Gin and tonic or margaritas? No, if you get, like I said, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna feel it out. Do you have stuff for margaritas there?
Yeah.
If you got that, I'll probably be okay.
Azevedo, would you rather gin and tonics or margaritas?
I'll say this: if we're raging, I'm gonna have to do gin and tonics.
Who said anything about raging?
That's what I'm saying. If we're gonna like chill out and sip on some cocktails, I would probably rather have. I mean, I'm fine with both, but don't get me wrong. I love me some margaritas.
What's your gin of choice?
Tanqueray.
No, like I'm gonna get gin.
What's that gin? What do you mean? What's better than Tanqueray that comes to the top of your head?
Oh my god.
What is it?
I'm just gonna pretend. I'm not even gonna entertain this conversation.
I really don't know. I mean, like
Hendrix for one.
Most popular gin.
Dude, Hendrix.
Tanqueray is the first thing that pops up. Tanqueray continues to be the world's most popular gin brands.
Yeah, well, Budweiser's the greatest beer brand in the world, and that's not fucking the best beer.
All right, so best hipster gin. Beefeater. Bombay.
Type in Hendrix.
I know what Hendrix is. I've had it before. It's good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll get some of that.
Okay. I'm down with it.
Ooh.
You got tea?
Ooh, as Vito said, Bombay Sapphire.
I'll drink Bombay. I used to have Bombay downstairs.
I think I have that over there.
There you go. So let's do this.
So G&Ts? I take my clothes off when I drink that.
T&T or G and
Oh,
T's and T's.
GT&Ts? Do I get the Smack the Bag tea or just regular iced tea?
Just
Like Arizona iced tea?
yeah. Like, do you guys have the gallon iced tea like Red Diamond?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, it's the good shit, dude.
I'll bring you. Do I go to Aldi for that or like a real grocery store?
No, you can get it at a real grocery store. But it's just all. I mean, you don't have to get a gallon, but
Because we got a whole day to kill.
I can kill some G and T's if we want.
We're doing a polar plunge too.
I'll do it.
Just
I'll bring
don't
the
tell
swimming
everybody.
trunks.
Just don't tell everybody.
Okay. Well, I don't know percentages. Alex asked a
What?
question about our incomes and percentages, like where they come
What
from.
do you mean?
Like what all of our incomes come from. Like what different areas.
Mine?
Both of ours. And like what the percentages are. I mean, my highest percentage
Nah.
income, I'll tell you, is from YouTube. Like that's usually what pays bills.
Me too.
Plus, doing other stuff. But YouTube's definitely the highest.
Yeah, I mean,
And then inside YouTube for Brad and I is affiliates, sponsorships,
yeah, it's all YouTube.
all that stuff. But
My major source of income is teaching job, this YouTube channel. My wife and I's tutoring business is pretty much just as big. I now consider like Patreon like separate from YouTube. Like if YouTube died, I'd still keep that going.
yeah, it's definitely a separate business, I feel like.
And then I'm still getting payouts from the brewery, which is a pretty good salary.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have like 5 sources of major income.
Yeah.
And they're definitely
podcasts.
not all. They're not all the same. Yeah, podcast. I don't even consider the podcast as a major income.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't make that much. Well, the course.
The course did okay.
Yeah.
Which you now get a free ebook with. Thanks for helping me edit that, Robin and everybody else in my Discord.
Boom. Yeah, mine are pretty much the same, except I don't have the W2 like Brad. Like I got so YouTube's my biggest. And then probably dividend tracker now, maybe. No, real estate.
I had like almost a 70% savings rate in 2021.
It's good.
Like, yeah, like 72%.
I don't know what mine would be. I know mine's up there.
That fucking kitchen really got me.
Yeah.
Tea, in the words of Ted Lasso, tastes like hot brown water. Yep. You are right, Brett, and that is a hilarious show. Started my new show. I finished Money Heist, which you didn't like. I just started Yellowstone.
Oh, I want to watch it so bad.
And I had to get the Peacock for it.
How much is that?
$5. Oh, let me ask you this: $5, $5.99 with commercials.
Okay.
Not $9.99 without them.
So if I can crush the episodes in a month, I'll do, or 2 months, I would do $9.99.
Yeah,
I'd pay $20 to watch that for sure.
So the problem with Yellowstone is there's so many seasons; they're not all in one spot. So like, the earliest seasons are on Peacock. Then you got to go to like Paramount or something like that to get the rest.
Oh Jesus, I ain't doing that.
Alex, as far as Money Heist, without giving anything away, the show should have ended at the end of the first heist. Seasons 3, 4, and 5 were stupidly stupid, and I only watched 5 and 6 because I had to know what happened, but I fast forwarded through most of the episodes. 1 and 2 were so good. 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, 5, and 6 just went down, down, down. Yeah, Yellowstone I think is on Paramount. It's definitely on Peacock. That's where I'm watching it right now. Peacock? And we got rid of Apple TV. That's what made me think of it, because if we download an app, we have to get rid of one, so we got rid of Apple TV. YouTube TV is still like my major TV, though. Yo, you know what? For when you come, we need a new a club banger. Every time you come, we got a new banger.
Look up Proximity 2022's or 2021 into the year mix. It's pretty good.
Like the big booty mix has been good, but dude, nothing will ever beat ice. Lemon in my neck was dripping. Ice.
Yeah, that was
lemon.
good.
Got the rollies in the back.
I'll tell you what I'm digging right now is Broadway Girls, Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk.
Nah, I can't get into the country like that.
Dude, but it's like that's not like, I mean, it's country, but it's not like that's like modern day country. Like that's what city people can listen to and be like, yeah, listen to country.
Yeah, but not when I want to get.
Proximity.
I've been getting more into like alternative stuff recently. But we know we need an EDM banger.
I'm telling you, Proximity's 2021 year-end mix is good.
There's a really good Martin Garrix song too, but it's not new. Oh my gosh!
I'm turning this on right now.
It'll be Dirty Heads though in Dubco.
What's that?
Dirty Heads?
Mm-hmm.
They're like Revolution.
Oh yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah. What do I do about Dubco? Like telling people like, listen, I've never seen you drink, but don't drink this like Budweiser. Because it's happened to you. You go in, you're like, oh, it's just a couple beers, and then your face falls off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how do you warn a grown ass man? Like, probably shouldn't have another one.
I mean, like I knew that, but I still did it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've drank at craft breweries before. I mean,
I'm gonna give some advice to anybody that's coming. Drink the alcohol content that I'm drinking or lower when you get there. Brad, what are you drinking? Don't worry about what I'm drinking. Just look at the alcohol content of what I'm drinking.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'll probably be sipping on some sours.
Oh, Chris said he's gonna pull some out of the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's like only like 10 bottles of LIDAR left. That'll be a Friday night podcast.
What?
That'll be a Friday night podcast beer.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So if anybody doesn't know that they're coming, there's 20 beers on tap. There's another 10 beers in cans. So there's 30 beers to choose from. There's 3 different flavors of wine. And then they don't do slushies in the wintertime, but so you get like a Chardonnay or like a rosé, a white and a red wine, 30 different beers on tap. I got them.
Can I get a? Oh yeah.
Clean out the bar tab.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get back to New York. It's my home away from home, I feel like now.
I can't wait to see Jeffrey in a cowboy hat.
True Grit. That's a show. It's a movie I just watched on Netflix. That reminded me of it. The cowboy hat. It's a little different, but it's good.
I got months of Yellowstone ahead of me. I'm gonna be watching Yellowstone until springtime.
See, I've been on a movie kick. I can't get into a series right now because I know I'm gonna be stopping Netflix here soon.
I go through that, and I'm so mad that there used to be like 2-hour like true crime documentaries. Now they're all docuseries.
Well, see, now I found a spot. For some reason, Netflix popped up with a 90-minute movie section. It's golden.
Really?
Yeah, they had
What?
They had Road Trip. You remember Road Trip?
Road Trip is less than 90 minutes.
It's like an hour and 32 minutes, I think.
Austin, Massachusetts.
Dude, it's so good. I love that movie. I remember watching that movie when I was like pretty young, and I remember thinking like, I don't think I should be watching this, but I'm watching.
I
this.
like that movie because I was like right when I was in college, and the guy was like, "It's physics. With physics, I'm always right."
Yes.
I said I'd get
So
the car
good.
over the hill. I didn't say the wheels would fall off.
So good.
Oh man.
Aaron
buddy.
asked, "What do Californians wear? Shorts and flip flops."
Short. Yeah, you can wear whatever you want. I mean, I guess I'll post a bulletin. I'll tell you what the weather looks like right now. Is this accurate? Is 10-day forecast accurate?
Mm,
Currently, right now,
it's gonna
it's
snow.
20. It's 28 degrees, and we have a high of 43. Tomorrow, low of 15. These abnormally cold temperatures, guys. By the way, Saturday of this week is 11. Okay, Thursday, high of 36, low of 25. Friday, snow, high of 27, low of 22.
Love it.
Yes. Yo, we're just gonna get a fire ripping in the fireplace.
Let's do it.
You're gonna hear the podcast with the snap, crackles, and pops of the fireplace in the background.
Let's do it.
And they don't give me Saturday yet, but whatever it is, we're gonna go jump in the ocean and we're gonna be inside.
It'll be a good time.
Oh, but no, think about layers, but light layers you could take off.
Yeah.
Like I'll be in I usually rock, like right now I got a long sleeve t-shirt on and a hoodie indoors. I keep my house at like 64, 65 degrees. And then to go outside, I'll throw on like a flannel jacket, like a flacket, and like a wool hat. But I won't zip the jacket up. We're not going to be outside. You know?
Yeah.
Not going to be outside.
Just jeans and a t-shirt for me with a jacket.
White jeans.
That may be my Saturday night jeans.
I was going to say, are you bringing your Saturday night jeans?
For real, I always bring the Saturday night jeans. Come on now. But.
All right, man, I'm going to get out of here.
All right. Good time. Good episode. Be out Monday.
Yeah.
And we will see everyone next week and then Saturday.